How's the squad feeling ahead of tomorrow?
Yeah, really good. We've been in Perth for overnight really, so it's nice to get out and have a little bit of a run around today before the game. But yeah, I think the squad's in a really good place and looking forward to the challenge tomorrow.
What was it you guys were doing this morning with the cricket clinic?
We're just running a clinic with some of the local Perth kids, which is actually one of the good things about an event like this, is to be able to contribute to the communities that we get to go around and visit. It was good. The girls got to have a bit of a run around and some fun with the kids.
First match didn't go as per plan. What was the debrief after that?
Yeah, look, it didn't go to plan, but that's sometimes the nature of World Cup games. You don't have it all your own way. But the challenge that lies ahead of us isn't too dissimilar to the challenge that a lot of teams face, in that if you want to win the World Cup and be part of it at the business end, you pretty much have to win 5 games of cricket. So that's what's in front of us, and that starts tomorrow against Sri Lanka.
What was the takeaways from the game, especially in terms of reading spin from the hand? Was that something specifically you guys had prepared on? Or was it something that took you by surprise?
No, it didn't take us by surprise. Certainly, we've seen Poonam do that in the past. I just think perhaps there was just some poor decisions that had a really big price to pay. Sometimes as a batter you might get away with some of those things and get an edge on it, or the ball goes into space and then everyone just sort of moves on. But unfortunately, I think during that game we paid a really high price for our mistakes. So I don't think it's any cause of concern to press the panic button or anything. It's just about being really clear on what our plans are against opposition bowlers and backing our skills to execute them, because we've certainly got the batting grip to do that.
There were some broadcasters who made the point that there aren't a lot of bowlers in Australia, leg spinners in Australia, who bowl googlies. So around the world in women's cricket, batters struggle to pick a googly from the hand. Do you think that's an issue in your team, and personally, are you confident of picking bowlers from the hand?
I think, cricket's all about watching the ball, right? It's not just leg spin bowling, where sometimes there's deception. Every type of bowler has the ability to deceive a batter. We've got some really good leg spinners in our country who bowl exceptionally well and have really good variations and those sorts of things. So, I think the other day was a minor blip. I don't think it's any cause of concern. We've got some world-class batters in our lineup, and of those, there's some world-class players that spin too. So, I don't think it's any cause of concern for us. We come up against a different proposition tomorrow in Sri Lanka, and I think you'll see our team really apply themselves and hopefully watch the ball nice and hard.
Afternoon, Rachel. The Bangladesh captain interestingly happened to mention that, according to her, Australia seemed to be a bit hurried and rushed in their innings against India. Your thoughts on her assessment? And also, again, the Chamari Athapaththu threat that we keep talking about. How is the team planning to handle her?
Sorry, I didn't hear the first part of that question.
The Bangladesh captain.
Yeah.
She mentioned that, according to her, she felt that the Australian team was hurried and rushed the way they went about their innings against India. Is that the correct assessment in your opinion? Were the Australian batters really a bit too rushed than the requirements of the game called for?
I don't think so. I actually thought the first part of our chase we applied ourselves pretty well. I thought Elisa Healy got us off to a great start with the bat, and it felt like we were in control. And to be honest, even when we got to the back end there, and I think we needed maybe 30 off 18 balls or something, I was still feeling really positive on the bench. We had Ash Gardner out in the middle who can definitely clear the rope, and that's one of the strengths of our side, is the depth in our play. So I didn't feel that as a player. I didn't feel like the moment was overawing or anything like that. And certainly, when I was batting with Mirja, I felt like we had control and weren't being rushed or anything. But unfortunately, momentum can shift really quickly in T20 cricket, and that certainly happened to our team. There's definitely some lessons there to be learnt. But in saying that, I think our team has got a real measured approach, and I think we'll bring that to the table tomorrow against Sri Lanka.
Your thoughts on Chamari Athapaththu? She had a decent outing last night against New Zealand and gave the Sri Lankan team quite a decent start. How do you plan to counter that threat?
Yeah, she's a really good player, and certainly, we played Sri Lanka earlier on in our summer, and she got 100 against us, so we know how dangerous she can be. So we'll plan for her. I think at the WACA too, she'll enjoy the bowling or the ball coming onto the bat. But yeah, we've certainly got some ideas on how we want to counter her attack and how damaging she can be. But in saying that, we want to respect their whole team because they're a dangerous side, and certainly they're capable of definitely pushing us and putting us under pressure.
Pretty different conditions to Friday night. Do you see some changes potentially being made for tomorrow?
Yeah, well, if I was a pace bowler, I'd certainly be steaming in today. It seems to be that the pace bowlers find a little bit of extra Ks in these conditions, so no doubt it'll be a tough net session. I'm not entirely sure whether selectors will go with their decisions, but we've certainly seen in the past that the WACA offers a little bit more pace and bounce.
Is Sophie Molyneux expected to train today, and how's she coming up at the moment?
Yeah, I believe so. We had a session this morning and she was part of it, so I'd expect her to train today with the team too.
And just finally, I think there's a fair bit of rain or thunderstorms forecast for tomorrow. Is the team concerned about that, given how cutthroat the tournament is?
Not really. I heard about that earlier today as well, but you can't really control those types of things, and certainly at a big event like this, I suspect if there was rain around, that the officials and the ground staff would do everything in their power to make sure that we got a game in. So, we face that challenge tomorrow. It's not of any concern. We'll make sure that we, just play what's in front of us, and if the match is affected, we'll be prepared for that.
Final thoughts on Poonam Yadav again, if you may. She doesn't have a WBBL contract as yet. Do you see her getting one very soon?
Well, Sydney Thunder's looking for a leg spinner, so I don't know, I could have a talk to her after this tournament, couldn't I?
Rachel, the pressure of the match, does the group talk about going forward? It's a little bit hard now, obviously coming off the first loss.
I think the nature of tournament cricket, you've got to move on pretty quickly. Even if you've played really well and everything's gone your way, you've still got to take it game by game. And I know that sounds a little bit cliche, but you can't afford to get too far ahead of yourself. But yeah, in saying that, we know what's in front of us, we know what we have to do, and perhaps that gives us a bit more of a clearer idea when we're in those big moments that we've just got to go for it because we're in that position now where we need to keep winning.